It all started by some friends getting together, and we had a picnic. So the question came up, what do you really miss most about the Pacific Northwest in addition to your family and friends? Well, it was, without a doubt, Pacific Northwest salmon. And so I called Pike's Market, and they said, "You got to be kidding, New York?" And I said, "Well, my name is Gamble, and I don't, but in this case, I will." And so we cooked it, and we ate it, and it was wonderful.
Well, I met Lex as a sophomore in college. He was a junior. We were both active in student government. I can remember Ramble with Gamble. That was his campaign slogan, yeah, when he ran for student body president.
The team that got elected were Gamble, Cruz, Carpenter, and Randall. And Carpenter, Diane Carpenter, was the second vice president. And I saw a lot more of Diane than I ever expected to see of anybody.
You know, they started to become a team while they were still in office, still in school. And so that was kind of fun.
So we actually graduated one week, got married the next week. A lot happened.
He has these salmon bakes that he does back in New York that are just legendary.
Massive amount of people attending with everybody wearing purple. And we're not anywhere near Seattle, anywhere near the UW. And it's a big tribute to he and what he's done for the school and over the years.
Yeah, they started with a few friends and it just grew and grew and grew. And he's had all these amazing people have been coming to talk to us. We had the crew coach, we've had different football coaches, we've had all kinds of people come talk.
And he's able to pull it off because it's not like he's putting the arm on you. It's like he's just asking a bunch of friends to come and sit down and have dinner, come over and have a bite to eat. And I want to tell you about this little school of mine.
He started Dawgs on Wall Street, and Dawgs on Wall Street has become a big deal. And as it goes on every year, I mean, there was no chapter of the UW in the East Coast until Lex and Diane started creating one.
Actually, it was very sudden in the sense that she wasn't feeling well, and we went to the doctor and did some tests and discovered she had stage 4 cancer, and they gave her 3 to 6 months to live. And wow, was that a shock. We got 13 months. And then she passed.
When I first started working with him, when I was chairing the foundation, I hadn't the slightest idea what I was doing. So I was kind of swimming above my level. And Lex was very nurturing and very thoughtful in his guidance of me in that position. And that was a tough time for Lex as well. So I was struck by how generous he was with his time and his wisdom during that time.
The first campaign was fascinating to me because when I was in school, the tuition was $71 a quarter, and the cost of educating students was a lot higher than that. So we knew that to be a successful academic institution, we had to find outside funds.
And when that was announced, Lex stood up and said, "I'll make the first gift." And I think that people all remember that when he did that.
He's been part of our foundation board for almost 20 years, and he travels for those meetings. The Foster Advisory Board, he takes that very seriously. He's there in person, he participates.
I hadn't seen Anne-Marie for some time. I gave her a call and said, "How about lunch?" So we had lunch, and we said we had to have another lunch.
All of a sudden, he was smiling again. And that's when Anne-Marie came back into his life.
The Huskies are a very important part of my life, and so Anne-Marie said, "You know, if it's important to you, it'll be important to me." And so, well, I have this salmon barbecue every year. You want to come?
Lex really epitomizes everything that we could possibly want in a volunteer leader. He is a leader. He's out front, bringing people together. And just the sheer number of hours that he has put into this university is absolutely amazing. And quite frankly, our university is as good as it is because of people like Lex. We could not do it without volunteer leaders like him.